How y'all doing? This is Reverend Dick. Well, just as an ending for today, I figured you guys should check out what happens in less than a week in Sweden, or just a short little selection of news items from this week in Sweden. Sweden Democratic protest against mosque building attacked by stone throwing youth. The Sweden Democrats were exposed to egg and stone throwing when the party protested against the construction of an Islamic center in Uppsala on Saturday, says the Radio P4, which is a Swedish state-sponsored radio channels. It was at a Sweden Democrats event in Stenhagen in Uppsala today that the party was attacked with stones. The manifestation was aimed at the building of an Islamic center in Uppsala, and at lunchtime on Saturday the party had set up a tent and distributed leaflets at St. Mary's Church. Soon enough, young people came out who threatened us and said that we should leave. We stood up and said that we had permission from the police to be there, said the party's municipal councillor Simon Alm to P4, and pointed out that some youths then started throwing rocks. For 10 minutes, 3 stones were thrown at the tent and at the police car that was parked at the site, writes the radio channel. However, the stones missed and no one was injured. According to UNT, both eggs and stones must have been thrown at the party and the police. No perpetrator has been arrested for the attack, but a police report of illegal threats have been established. What else happened? Well, this was Friday, I think. Let's see here. September 7th. It was night until today. A woman went out to walk her dog. She was raped on a knife thread. A woman has reported that during the night to Saturday, she was subjected to an outdoor rape in the municipality of Österåker. The woman was taken to hospital. It was at 4 o'clock last night that the police were alerted to a rape outside the municipality of Österåker in Stockholm. According to information to the evening's news Aftonbladet, the woman must have been out on a dog walk when she was attacked by a knife-armed man on a bicycle. The assault had taken place in the central Åkersberga. The perpetrator was a man unknown to the woman. The woman was routinely taken to the hospital for an examination. No one has been arrested for the rape. Now, I'm willing to bet that this guy is most definitely not what you would call a pure blood Swede. And while speaking about this shit, I am going to see if I can find another article which relates to this. I just need to open up a couple of news pages and have a look, because in Sweden the practice is that you don't go out with who the perpetrator is if they are foreign people. And they did something unique last week, which was that they went out with a phantom picture of a rapist, that a mass rapist even. And I am going to see if I can find this motherfucker, because it's exactly what you think. It's just that I don't want you to have any reason whatsoever to believe that I'm not being honest here. So here we go. This is also in Sweden, in Stockholm, in a place called Rågsved, and this is the phantom image of that motherfucker. Phantom image of the rapist in Rågsved. Police are now out with a phantom image of the suspected serial rapist in Rågsved in Stockholm. It is in Rågsved in southern Stockholm that it has ravaged a suspected serial rapist. Let me just see so that I switched over. Yes, I did. Between March and July, 4 women were assaulted, of which 2 were attacked in the rape. In one case, the woman was attacked at her gate after she got off the bus alone. Under knife threat, the man rapes her. Police believe it is about the same perpetrator, but are still waiting for DNA analysis. Anal cysts. This is also something that is typical for Sweden, is that the DNA profiles take ages because of all the crime perpetrated, where you need to get DNA. Already this summer, the police went out with with the description of the perpetrator. In some cases, the man has used a knife. He should be dark-skinned, wearing a hat in several cases, and he should be about 180 centimeters tall. That would be just around 6 feet, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but fuck it. Women in the area have been so frightened that they coordinated home trips with others via social media. Now the police go out with a phantom image of the man on their website, and in Television 3's Wanted, which is based on how the women jointly described the man, says Aftonbladet. According to Åsa Hansson, the police are still in need of tips, and they intend to try and find the perpetrator through planned DNA tests. As part of an investigation into these crimes, about 200 people are currently being investigated. The police wants to thank the callers who put in this work. As yet, no DNA test has matched the police's DNA findings, the police writes on their website. And moving on, I just had to show you that. Let me just go back. You remember, this is a serial rapist, and the Western media, the progressive lot, they want you to believe that this should have been a blonde, 6-foot, blue-eyed Swedish man, that it could just as well have been that. But to no one's surprise, boom, there he is. So now, pupils assaulted, not mistreated, is a bad translation, retired teacher. On Friday afternoon, an older teacher was beaten by 2 students at a school in Landskrona. This reported by the daily Helsingborgs Dagblad. The teacher is retired, but has jumped in and worked as an hourly teacher. On Friday, 2 underage boys hit him with kicks and punches. According to the investigations, 2 students have physically assaulted the teacher. Other school staff have intervened and called the police because they have been so violent, says primary school principal Anna Eriksson to Helsingborgs Dagblad, who asks how the teacher is doing. He's in good health and feels good according to the circumstances. The municipality has offered him occupational health care, and the principal is a great support for him. He feels confident with how the process has been handled and feels confident coming back to school. What caused the abuse is unclear, and the versions of the students and the teacher differ. The headmaster of the school has decided to suspend the 2 students for 1 week. Now, first of all, this should never have happened. This is Sweden. I'm 99.99% sure that these aren't ethnically Swedish people. Just as with the fucking serial rapist, I'm 99.99% sure that these people are of the same breed. But here in Sweden we worry about the important shit. So in Sweden you're not allowed to have Trump written on your license plate because it's offensive. It's forbidden to have Trump on the license plate of your car in Sweden, as others may perceive it as offensive, states the Swedish state television. Putting a personal registration plate, a vanity plate, on the car is something people think is fun, but there are limits, to refer to the US President Donald Trump, for example. This was experienced by a person on the West Coast when the Swedish Transport Agency refused to sign the combination Trump on his license plate, which he wanted to put on for a large black American SUV. The decision was justified by the fact that the sign by others could be perceived as offensive. Personal registration plates must not cause offense or inconvenience, says communicator Sophie Anderson at the Swedish Transport Agency to the Swedish state television. However, the authority is not as sure that it would have been prohibited to put Löfven on the car, which is the Swedish Prime Minister. He's a fat sack of shit that is ruining this country, but that's another story. Anderson also points out that this is something that an expert must first investigate. Because in Sweden you need to investigate everything. You need to pay people to not do shit, to do less shit. And that's the way it goes. So yeah, with that, I'm done with videos for today. And I hope y'all guys have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.